Here we go again, everybody, for the first time since December 2nd, 2024. Over 6 months ago, it's time to head to another pro wrestling event. This time around, EDW Extreme Dwarfanators Wrestling is bringing their promotion to the Northwest Washington Fair Event Center in Linden. Go through this quick rundown while we can. First and foremost, ladies and gentlemen, this is a stray cat that is really attached to us. We also have a Dodge Ram running around the neighborhood. Pretty loud truck. You're gonna hear him meowing and being clingy as we record this. You can hear him right there. Almost looks like cursive, doesn't it? This is the milestone event, ladies and gentlemen. This will be event number 20 that we have been in attendance for. 20 events in the last 13 years. Pretty darn good. Of the 20 events we've been to, this will be EDW event number 2. And regarding EDW, the first event since last June when they were in Linden. This will be event number 2 that we have attended in Linden, in a fairground that I hold very near and dear to my heart. Back when I was in high school, was in FFA, showed pigs at this fair, and in my senior year of high school, my very last market show, my pig ended up winning grand champion in the market show. So a lot of good memories. Still come down to the fairgrounds every August when they have their fair to work the market shows and auctions. So yeah, very familiar with the area. Very familiar. Anyway, he thinks he needs to be fed. He just got fed. So, yeah, that's all there really is. Event number 20, EDW event number 2. Event held in Linden number 2. This will be event number 1 that we have attended this year. This will make it the 4th straight year that we have been in attendance for at least one event. This was supposed to be event number 2. We were supposed to be at SmackDown in Seattle, WWE, wee, by the way, in case you weren't aware, this past April, but the car decided to have its tire blowout. EDW's hosting another show in, we live in a very crowded neighborhood. You're going to hear a lot of cars go by. EDW's holding another show in Bellingham next Friday and the week after Mount Vernon. Only going to be able to make it to this one. We would be able to make it to the one next week, but once again, money. Multiple events combined with my poverty finances equals no sell. And then the big one, AEW is hosting multiple events at the ShoWare Center, the Seattle Thunderbirds Arena in Kent. However, they all happen on days that I have to work. And wouldn't you know it, the day after they leave town is when my next day off is. Go figure. So yeah, you know what? That's all there really is to say. Nothing else to show you regarding information or whatnot. So let's take it down to the arena. I'll see you guys here soon. Might as well check out the tires first. This was the culprit right here. You look pretty good. What about you? Check this tire. Perfect. Feels pretty good. How's this tire look? Alright, you're okay. You match the color of that tire. And this tire looks alright too. Gonna check you one more time before we leave. You better stay put. Cat. Cat. Pigs are the best animal. Better check the car to make sure the tires are still intact. We'll start with the least trusted one. So far, so good. Yep, that's fine. Alright, tire number 2. How do you do? You're doing alright. Perfect. Stray cat out of nowhere. Tire number 3. Perfect. One more. Alright, it's official. Event number 20 is on the way. Knowing my luck, this thing will break down on the side of the road just before we reach Linden. And here we are. Welcome to Linden, Washington. This is the WeQ Expo building where they hold the event. Once again, the Northwest Washington Fair, somewhere I hold very near and dear to my heart. A place where I have won multiple ribbons, multiple class championships, and a grand championship in showing pigs. This is one of the entrances right here. And this right here, this is a cool new building, the Farming Experience, which gives the city folk from Bellingham kind of the experience of what it's like to farm. Unfortunately, they only really focus on dairy, nothing about the pork industry, but that's all right. I'll see you guys when we get in the building. And that is it, everybody. That was the event. Once again, I do apologize for having to mute everything. They were playing a whole bunch of copyrighted music the entire time. And as much as I'd like the burden of this channel to be taken away, you know, I don't want this little special to be the reason why, because there were a whole lot there. Anyway, we're on our way out. Let's go home. As if we can, there's a lot of traffic. Linden High School had their graduation today. I'll see you guys whenever I get home. And there you have it, everybody. That was Extreme Dwarfanators Wrestling. It's been about a day now. Was originally going to take today off to get ready to go to the Bellingham subdivision tomorrow. However, family unexpectedly came over. Nothing wrong with that, but I'm just saying, so I'm going to spend time with family instead of abandoning them to go trackside. I'll do that next week. I'll also start producing this tomorrow night after they go back home. I'm not going to say any more on the subject, but anyway, yeah, so that was the show, you know, and I got that stray cat chasing myself around as I walk around outside and tell you about this. Should be in the house watching Wee Wee Money in the Bank right now, but kind of wanted to come and give you this debriefing. So yeah, this was it. Event number 20 that we have been in attendance for. 20 shows in the last 13 years. I see that as a pretty big accomplishment, to be completely honest with you. Pretty big accomplishment. Pet the cat. Nope, that didn't shut it up. That made it worse. Yeah, so, yeah, it was pretty fun, you know. I mean, gotta be honest, you know, it's not WWE, it's not AEW, but it's its own little thing. That's what makes it unique. It's its own thing. You know, gives those guys an opportunity to practice their passion. Absolutely okay with that. I looked online and there were a few people calling for it to be shut down because it's a freak show or something like that. Let them live out their dreams. If you don't like it, don't watch it. That's all I'm going to say. So, a couple of notes I'm going to bring up. You know, first and foremost, even though they said the show was going to start at 8 p.m., they waited till 8:30 to start it. They were probably just waiting for late arrivers to come and take their seats. The show also seemed a little shorter than the last one. I think it lasted about an hour and 20 minutes, maybe 90 minutes if we're pushing it. I'd like to say that this is because of their schedule. They've got to be at like a different city every single day. They have a pretty big schedule if you look on their website at their touring schedule. It's pretty darn big. So that's probably why there. But yeah, overall, it was pretty decent. My favorite part was I always get places early. It was the first one there. Actually got to go inside and watch them set up the ring. Didn't take any pictures of that, do apologize, but yeah, that was pretty neat getting to see that. All in all, you know, just you know, it's just a fun little show to tie you over until we're able to make it to another WWE event or so. I mean, the indie promotion, 5cc up in Bellingham, unfortunately went under before we could attend a single show. Was going to try to make it to the one they put on in, what was it? the one that they put on in February of 2022, but we had to back out of that one for reasons I'm not going to get into on here. But anyway, yeah, you know, I mean, it's not WWE, it's not AEW, but that doesn't mean it's not important. This was event number 20. You know, the way I see it, if there is a ring and at least 2 people going at it with the referee calling the action, I'll try to be in attendance for it. I don't really have the, you know, there's a whole lot of indie shows that go on around here. However, they're all out of the area. Anything outside of Whatcom or even Skagit is kind of out of my driving range. So I just try to go to whatever they have going on up here. And then, of course, if the 2 big companies come up here, we try to be in attendance for that. Don't know if it was mentioned or not. It probably was, but AEW's coming up to Kent. Oh yeah, we talked about this in the start of the show, but yeah, they're coming up to Kent. And they're hosting multiple Dynamites and Collisions, but unable to make it to a single one because of work. The part that really stings is that the day after they leave town is when I get the first day off afterwards. But you know what? That's alright, I guess. So yeah, that's gonna do it. Let's take you into the studio and let's see what's going on in my Fig Fed. Stand by. Alright, so here we are in the arena, Money in the Bank, in my Fig Fed coming from King City, California. King City, California, sorry, Yes, I put an epilepsy warning up, but that's because this thing flashes lights really rapidly. So first up, Women's Money in the Bank, Alexa Bliss and Carmella, Nikki Cross, Ruby Riott, who is now Ruby Soho, I think, Stephanie McMahon and Tiffany Stratton going for Women's Money in the Bank. The Men's Money in the Bank, Bobby Roode, who's out here, Edge, who is in another one later in the night, Goldust, Heath Slater, who's nowhere to be found. Wonder where he went. Rashad Evans from UFC, and then Scott Hall are all going for Money in the Bank. We brought back the ECW title. RVD and Terry Funk going at it. We have the Steel Cage Championship being contested between the current champion Sheamus and then the Honky Tonk Man. The $1 Million Championship, Ted DiBiase going up against Sam Flynn from Tron. And then the tag team titles, the longtime defending champions, the NWO, going up against The Miz and Shane McMahon. The US title, we got a triple threat. No, we don't. We got Randy Orton in a fatal 4-way going up against these 3 guys. Jon Moxley, DDP, and Primo. And then the Intercontinental title, Riddle. Edge, Cope wants his rematch against Riddle for that title right there. The World title, Randy Orton upsetting Terry Taylor to get that title back. Terry Taylor getting his rematch. The World Heavyweight title. Oh wait, I already told you guys about the World title. The Women's title, Tamina Snuka going up against Bianca Belair. Yes, that's the butterfly belt. Haven't gotten a hold of,
Alexa was supposed to come with the women's title, but I got the figure on a discount at Walgreens because someone had stolen the belt from the packaging.
And then the main event, Hulk Hogan defending against King Mabel. And then right here in the back, you have everybody involved in creative. And then the backstage area right here, found this guy. And then over here, you have these guys. Mean Gene's missing an arm. Don't know why. And then we got these guys on commentary. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that's going to do it for this special. We'll be right back at it with LARDLOGO's most uncanny logos coming up as soon as this thing's finished producing. Unless the DC Defenders make it to the championship, then we'll have that as another special coming up. Until I do return, most likely in the next community post, thank you all for joining us. Good night. Remember that Jesus is King. God bless each and every one of you. And thank you, Papa.